Episode 12, Drink with James. New spaces, new faces. Jacey from Damsel and Dior is going to join us today, answer all the questions that I can't answer or don't want to answer. As you guys know, I've been trying over the last 12 weeks to get The Rock to join us on the show. And thus far, all of my attempts have gone unanswered. In Dwayne's space, we have Jacey from Damsel and Dior, who would be my second choice.
Oh, thanks.
Who is,
so happy to be here.
Yes.
Sorry that The Rock is not here.
The Rock's not here, but you are tapping the Rockies.
That is true. Well,
she's drinking a Coors Light with her whiskey.
I was,
which is the Texas in you.
I was really surprised to see you're actually drinking whiskey in these, and not just during the episodes, but before as well. So
yeah, that's a little known.
So this is our second one.
That's a little known pro tip: is that we drink one whiskey before we film.
Yeah, this is going to be rough.
More interesting.
It's going to be rough.
Quick aside. Thank all y'all for sending in. See, I get more southern when I'm drinking too. All y'all. Thank y'all for sending in your questions. Tim made me say that. Because if you don't send questions, I'll make shit up. But Tim really wanted me to say thank you. So thank you for sending in questions. Please continue to do that. We'd be nothing without you. Jacey, I'm not going to talk much, believe it or not, this episode. That's the plan. We'll see how it goes. But I think we were chatting a bit before we started, and yeah. Drink
Okay.
it in. I know.
I have to drink this whole thing.
Cheap shit. It is.
Oh my god. I have to have a beer. Yeah.
It's
okay.
Jason, it's fine.
Okay.
A lot of the questions we get is about Instagram growth.
Yes.
And if you've watched any of these episodes before, you know that I am struggling with my own Instagram. It's actually losing followers at a fairly alarming rate. If you guys want to follow me, it's James Nord. It's right here.
Wait.
Wait.
What about me? What about me?
Damsel and Dior, yeah.
Follow me.
But you have what do you have now?
321,000 today.
300. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
The questions are always, how can I grow my following?
Mm-hmm.
And I think what would be interesting is to hear a bit more about currently now how you're thinking about growing your following, as it's a little bit more crowded and more difficult to do that. So what are the things you're focusing on now?
Things have definitely changed a lot with Instagram lately, as we are all very aware. Everyone's talking about it, not only with the Instagram stories, which I'm positive we will get into later, but also with Instagram's new algorithm. It's totally messing up people's feeds, in my opinion. I hate it, but we've had to adjust accordingly, right? We have no choice. So basically with the new Instagram algorithm, it's taking away your chronological feed. So when you open up your Instagram account, it's no longer in chronological order. It's automatically lining up the posts that Instagram thinks you want to see based off of your engagement and what posts you're liking the most. So when I open my Instagram account, it has my mom and Vogue and at William and Polly. What did you say?
And Bulldogs.
And Bulldogs, yeah, because I'm obsessed with my Bulldogs, who also have an Instagram account.
What is it?
At William and Polly.
You gotta do this. Tim will put it there, yeah.
This is so fancy. At William and Polly. So yeah, all those accounts will pop up, even if they're hours or days old, above the most recent posts at some other accounts that I follow. So as a blogger, it's been a huge struggle. I noticed a big decline in the post likes, comments, engagement, everything. So I keep saying I have had to get a lot more strategic with the time of day that I'm posting and the types of content that I'm posting, and just be a little bit more strategic with it, which is unfortunate because Instagram started out as this fun, carefree thing, and now it's a little bit more strategic and calculated.
There's been a fairly large shift as a follower, I've noticed, on your Instagram over the last month.
Yeah.
From more editorial shots to just you in front of a mirror with your camera phone, you standing in front of your front door. What is that? Just are you being lazy?
Definitely not. I actually prefer the more editorial, beautiful images. You've taken a lot of beautiful photos on trips to Palm Springs that we went on recently. for brand campaigns and whatnot. And there's such beautiful images that are being taken, but people don't like those. And I was noticing that. And I honestly, and I've done this before. I've done this almost once a year. I ask my readers. I think a lot of influencers are afraid to ask and be vulnerable.
How did you ask?
I posted on my Instagram a photo and I was like, hey guys, like, gonna be honest here. What the F is going on? Like, what aren't you liking? What do you like? What do you want to see? And that's what they want to see. They want to see mirror selfies, what I'm wearing on a like pretty regular basis, daily basis. They don't want to see this like perfect photo that's in the, you know, in the middle of the street that's it's beautiful. They want to see something real.
Right.
And they want to feel connected to like what I'm actually doing in my life. So that's why you've probably noticed a shift of some more mirror selfies.
It's interesting. Well, Tim, you should put a link somewhere up to that Instagram post, because did you get a bunch of
oh my
responses?
God, I can't even. I mean, I think we got. Let me see how many.
We'll put it here.
I think we got like 600-700 comments.
Okay.
I've gotten
so
like
be really
hundreds of
interesting, I think,
emails.
for everyone to read.
It's crazy.
Like what people are looking for, because I'm sure
Yeah,
as a fashion blogger.
But it's also case by case, because
Right.
some of my friends who also have Instagram followings, their followers may love the glossy, beautiful, perfect imagery. My followers don't. That's
So-
the thing you have to understand. Like, everyone's followers are different, right? So you have to, I think it's the best to ask your followers. If you're really confused by what they want, is just ask them. And at the same time, take it with a grain of salt. Not like a big one, but just, you know, I love my followers, and I listened to every word they said. I cried over some of the emails. I got happy over some of the emails. I mean, it really like rocked my boat for a couple of weeks, because you ask, you don't always get back what you want. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It was a growing pain, but at the end of the day, you have to stay true to your voice, and you have to stay true to what it is that you are wanting to put out into the world, and that is the bottom line for me.
Right.
So I listen to them, but I'm still trying to do it in my own way.
It's an interesting problem, because I think as a blogger, as you progress and your following grows, your life changes, right? Naturally,
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Like,
Yes.
I mean, I know there's beauty bloggers who built their following buying drugstore makeup, and then they get, you know, their life changes. They get older, they get more money, and now all of a sudden they're buying Chanel and Tom Ford, and the followers don't want to see that, but that's their life now. Like, how do you deal with that? Like, you have the new beautiful Chanel shoes on right now.
Thank you. They were very hard to find.
But a lot of your followers, for them, that's not their lives. So how do you like harken back to those times when maybe that wasn't also your life, but also understand that like your situation has changed and your life is a little bit different.
Absolutely. I think the majority of my followers grow with me. When I started out doing this, I mean, it was nearly 5 years ago, and I was a lot younger. I'm not going to say how old, but the majority, like 20. That's mean. You said that. Tisk tisk. But the majority of them, I hope, are, you know, they're growing up with me, and they're getting better jobs, and they're getting that promotion, and they're saving up for that one handbag, and they write in and they ask, like, should I get this one or that one? And I love when that happens, because I'm like, yeah, you go, like, get it. But on the flip side, I also understand that I have younger followers as well. So what we really try to do is anytime I'm posting anything, I always have a like knockoff or a cheaper version in mind of what, like these shoes, like Steve Madden makes an exact pair that are not $800, you know, they're like 80. So anytime I'm buying any high-end luxury item, I almost always have another version of that piece in mind. And if I don't, I'll go find it, so that when people are asking me like, but like I really want that but I can't afford it, I always have something in mind for them to go purchase as well and pull the look off, I hope at least. Right. But I also am a firm believer in investing in handbags, because we were just talking about this earlier, like that one Chanel bag that everyone wants to invest in can make a Forever 21 dress look like $1 million. And that's where you should be putting your money.
Pro tips. Sponsored by Chanel.
Hashtag sponsor. No, I wish.
Hashtag invite me to your show.
Yeah, hashtag please. I want to go to the show.
I think it brings up a good point. You know, you have a great blog, and because I started Fork Hard, I know you have good traffic to your blog. it's got like Instagram in some ways has to be more fun for you than doing your blog. And we'll talk about Snapchat in a minute. That's got to be more fun than your Instagram. But how does your blog fit into your business currently? And I think speaking to people who, we have to do this with the lens of a lot of people watching Drink with James aren't at the level that you're at, and you're certainly still trying to grow and grow your business. But how important was the blog in your growth? And do you think that if I have an Instagram account now and I have 20,000 followers, should I have a blog?
There was Instagram. I did not have an Instagram account. I took my blog and turned it into a full-time business because it was getting the traffic that I wanted it to get in order to make a living off of. It was about 2011 when I made that shift, really 2012.
And when you made the shift from?
When I made the shift from having a job and a blog, it was 2012, and I had no Instagram account.
We actually did a Quitters Club story on you.
Yes, you did.
And I think you can read it right here.
Yay! Click.
About the job you used to have.
I had a lot of jobs, but yes.
So
the importance of having a blog,
right.
To me, it's the most important thing because, you guys, we don't own Instagram, and we don't own Snapchat, or Twitter, or Facebook. Like, you put that content out there, has anyone read the terms and conditions of Instagram? No, I know I haven't. And like, at the end of the day, like, you don't own that. You don't own that content. I own everything that goes onto my blog, everything. And no one can touch that. No one can add an algorithm to that or, switch, or it doesn't get bought by Facebook, and there's all these changes happening and everyone's all frustrated, and Pinterest won't allow you to do embedded links anymore, and now we can't monetize on Pinterest. Like, I have my blog. That is my insurance plan. That's what it is. It's not it's not a control thing. It's an insurance thing.
Right.
That's the bread and butter to me. And you can monetize off of it. You can do whatever you don't want ads on your blog. Don't put ads on your blog. I don't want ads on my Snapchat feed, but I have no control over that.
And as your Instagram grew and became more important, because I'm sure a lot of the people reaching out to you, brands, are finding you on Instagram first, right?
Probably, yeah.
Right?
Probably.
But when they reach out to you and they want to do a sponsored post, you try and wrap your blog into that and give a full package, or are you just trying to sell off Instagram posts? How do you think about that as brands approach you?
I try to not do Instagram posts sponsored as much as humanly possible. People don't want to see sponsored Instagram posts. So, and honestly, the blog performs better than Instagram. I sell product through my blog. My conversion rate's really high, thank God. So I'm able to sell posts. Most brands that reach out want a blog post because once they see the numbers and they see that we're selling products through the blog versus the Instagram, that's really, most brands, that's their incentive. They want to sell. Right. Now, if a brand reaches out and they're looking to grow their Instagram following, that's a different case. So it really depends on the brand's motives and like what they're trying to accomplish with the activation.
I think speaking of negotiations, good time to just say, like, knowing you for a while now, I think you're equally good at the business side of things as you are
Thank
the
you.
content side. And I think you always are getting asked to speak on panels about the business of blogging and things like that. We've been talking a lot about negotiating, and I think a question that a lot of influencers have is just like, they're working with brands, maybe they have 25 to 50,000 followers, they want to start monetizing their following. Like, for you, if you can think back to when that was your following, like, when did you start thinking about monetizing? How do you start those conversations about making money?
I started thinking about monetizing when brands started offering me money to do posts. That's when it's time. You can't jump the gun on this. And you shouldn't be blogging if you want to make money, because that's not the right reason to enter this industry.
Money, right?
There definitely is.
It's called hedge funds.
No, it's not the right motive to be a blogger. I didn't even know you could make money doing this when I started, so this is still a shock to me. But yeah, I think the number one, it's time to start asking for money is when brands start to reach out and offer you money. But if you really feel like in your heart of hearts and in your gut that like your work deserves some financial, some sort of financial income, then you just ask. I have to do it all the time still. Like, brands don't always reach out with like, hey, Jacey, we want to pay you to do this. Like, It happens multiple times on a daily basis where they'll reach out and be like, hey, can you post this?
So if they
and
say,
I write back and I'm just
I'd
like, oh my gosh, this sounds so great. This handbag's so cute, or this top is adorable. Yes, I think my readers would really, relate to that and respond to that as I do. Do you guys have a budget in mind for this activation? And either they'll write back and be like, yes, what do you charge? And I'll write back and be like, well, what do you have? Never give them a number first. As like the number one
I feel like
rule for negotiation.
I drank with James last week.
Really?
Right? You should not give up your price at that point. You should always go back to them and say, is there a budget for this project? Because in that moment, you have the power. Yeah.
Was it? Oh my gosh.
You just said that because you watched it.
No, maybe, yeah. I think I was like subconsciously quoting you.
That's super. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Like people should be reaching out, and maybe not everyone's reaching out and offering money, but once some people start to reach out offering money, you're at a point where you can start to charge. Right?
And it's funny, yes, and that shouldn't be your motivation. This is a great example. I recently, I come to New York a lot for meetings, and because I represent myself, I have no manager or agent, I have to come and have a lot of face-to-face time with brands. And last trip I came, I wanted to stay in an apartment. So I stayed in a One Fine Stay apartment. # this is not sponsored yet. I'm just kidding. Here's the link to One Fine Stay. No, I'm kidding. But I stayed in an apartment with them. They, I didn't ask for a discount or anything. I just wanted to try it out. And now, because of that, and because I like nurtured and nursed the relationship, I'm staying in one of their apartments for Paris Fashion Week.
So
because I just happen to be a genuine fan.
Do you send them an email, and maybe not for this specific thing, because again, you're in a different situation. You're a well-known influencer. People know you. You have a big following. Like, did you used to, like, let's say you had 50,000 followers. You did the same thing. You stayed at One Fine Stay. Would you compile the posts that you made for them?
Absolutely.
And send them an email saying, I loved your apartment. Here's what I did for you before. Here's my idea.
Absolutely. Yes. You have to pitch. I mean, when I was first starting out, I would just come up with an idea like, how can I work with the Loft, or how can I work with X, Y, or Z brand? And I didn't have a strong following at all. I think I had like 10,000 followers on Instagram. My blog was getting, I don't even know, 300 to 500 views a day-ish. And I would just come up with an idea. And I would go to a brand and be like, hey, if you will gift me this top, I'll wear it and post about it. And then I would do it and then go back to them with a full report about how it performed. And just like developing those relationships early on is really important, because then later on they're going to see that you're just like a faithful follower of their brand, or if it's a designer or whoever. It's all honestly all about developing the relationship with them. I mean, Tory Burch is a great example. She's one of my favorite designers.
Is it because you guys look exactly the same?
Well, yeah.
Can you put a photo of Tory Burch
God.
here next to her? Because
That's
they
really
are the same person. Have you not been walking around and people come up to you?
No, it's true. Yeah, it is true.
Oh my God, I love your clothes.
I have. That's actually happened.
The Damsel Times Splendid.
That's
no,
you're Tory Burch. And I'm like,
I like your clothes.
People at Fashion Week last year, actually, they did think that I was her at one point, which is so flattering. I'm obsessed with her. I think she's amazing.
It's nice to know what you're going to look like as an old lady.
I hope.
Right?
I hope so. But I've always shopped at her store. I mean, ever since like college days, and I just naturally wore her clothing on the site. And like now I'm an ambassador for her brand, and it just turned into this great thing because it's an organic relationship. You have to stay true to like what's in your heart, and like the things that you like. That's what blogging is honestly all about.
Right. Oh. That was really beautiful.
Thank you. Thanks.
That's nice. You must be getting drunk.
I am. Jesus. This is my second one. What are you doing to me?
So people like your Snapchat, right? And let's be honest.
I guess so.
Let's be honest. Some people don't like your blog and Instagram. They think that maybe you're a little stuck up.
Yeah.
That like you're a snooty bitch.
Which I get.
Right.
They thought I was a snooty bitch.
Well, I mean, I know you and I think you're a bit of a snooty
That's so
bitch,
sweet.
but,
Thank you, Nord.
but like your Snapchat has been
It's been my saving grace.
And you just got like some award?
I
Do you want us to
yes.
plug this thing?
I do want to plug it. I got nominated
So
for
she
an
got
award.
nominated for an award. Tim will put a link somewhere you can vote for you for best Snapchat.
Please do, because I've never won anything in my life, and my mom would be really proud if I
Right.
won this.
Right. This will be
I
like.
really need this, you guys, because
You used
I
to be a
literally I
pageant-
didn't.
You used to be a pageant kid,
And
right?
I only won like one pageant that my mom asked me to be in. Like I could really use this
Right.
Snapchat award.
She could use
I'm
it
not
so-
joking. I act like an asshole on my Snapchat, so like I feel like I deserve it. The people that I'm up against don't act like they don't act like assholes. I act
Right.
like an asshole.
But so Snapchat is So your Snapchat's great, right? It's funny.
Thank you.
And everyone likes it. Instagram stories. A lot of people are asking questions, what they should be doing, and Instagram obviously being one of the more powerful platforms in the space now. Them putting out this is big. So like,
Yeah, it's big
how
news,
are you
big
as
news.
somebody who has a vibrant, like, I guess not only a vibrant Snapchat following, but like it is unique. Your Snapchat is different than your Instagram. How are you thinking about it? Are you planning on posting to Instagram stories? Or are you going to stick with Snapchat?
Instagram, honestly, like, okay, they're chasing after Snapchat, and nothing is cute about somebody that's chasing after a competitor. You know why? Because they're behind them, and they're seeing their back. So it really just kind of rubs me the wrong way. And I hate to say that because I like Instagram after they finally gave me my blue check mark of verification. Now I'm like, I feel like I owe them something.
Right.
No, but in all honesty, I'm a little resistant to change. And I kind of want to see how this plays out. I don't want to see all 450 people that I follow. I don't want to see all their Instagram stories. I only follow like 30 people on Snapchat. Snapchat just feels really intimate. And I tried out Instagram stories for the day just a couple times, and my gut instinct I felt like a little bit more pressure. And on my Snapchat, I'm a hot mess, and I just could care less like what goes on there. But on my Instagram,
Tim will put your Snapchat
please,
here.
please follow me on Snapchat. On my Instagram, when I was posting, I felt a little bit more self-conscious, and I don't know what that was about. Maybe it's opening that exact app, and I have an association with that app that is like this beautiful landscape for images.
Do you think that like, okay, I don't think Instagram Stories is meant to replace Snapchat, but do you think that there's a different way to use Instagram Stories to enhance your Snapchat? Like if you're on a trip, right, and you're posting, because you used to post a lot, right? You used to post how much?
On Instagram,
You
like
used to post
5 or 6 times a day.
5 or 6 times, but you've cut it down a little
So
bit.
like
But
twice a day,
When
yeah.
you travel, sometimes you're posting more, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that like you could see a situation where when you're traveling or something, you can add context to the photos that you're posting
Yes.
without pushing someone to another platform?
I do, yes, but I also feel like I would just be doing the same thing twice. So I could definitely understand offering a different type of content on Instagram stories that's either on my Snapchat or my Instagram. I just haven't quite figured out what that would be yet. And that's not to say that I'm not going to like get into Instagram stories one day, but right now I'm trying to wrap my head around what that would be. You know, I take a lot of careful consideration into the things that, you know, I want to invest my time and energy into because I want to do a great job at it. Just because Instagram stories is like announce that they're doing this doesn't mean that everyone and their cat and dog has to like do it. Like sit back, think about it, see what other people are doing, maybe strategize. I mean, I'm obviously using it to promote my Snapchat right now, but I like post every day. Because also you don't know if they're gonna like take it away. They might take it away. Or make it to where you can unfollow people.
Right. Yes.
Right now, I'm just using it as a jumping board to promote and push people
Right.
over to my Snapchat, honestly,
Yeah.
because Snapchat's fun and easy.
It is, it is. Look, we've been talking
I know.
quite some time now. Tim is actually sleeping.
Oh my
behind
God,
the
he is
camera right
sleeping.
now.
Wait, I have to flip my glass over at the end.
Not
like
yet,
you
yeah,
do.
we're gonna
okay,
do it in a
good.
second.
Okay,
But,
good. A little bit more.
This is like the power TP here, which
Oh,
I don't
no.
usually do, but I'm feeling it right now.
Are you going to ask me a hard-hitting question?
Yes, I'm very disappointed with your performance. What are you
He has questions.
What are you pointing at?
He's saying he has a question. He's raising his hand.
Oh, what is your question?
Sponsored content on Snapchat. Do you do any? James, you want to answer that question?
Yes. So, speaking of Snapchat, you must have brands reaching out asking you to do sponsored content.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Do you do it?
No,
Why not?
I just don't want to.
Good. Okay. End of question.
It's
you
like the
think that
one
people-
place that I can just be free and be me. And right now I'm just enjoying that, and the readers are loving it. So Let's
But
just keep
giving
it that way. But brands are they're definitely trying to sneak it in.
But giving advice
Read
to...
those contracts.
Read your contracts.
Yeah.
Right? Giving advice to other bloggers, if people are reaching out, do you think that the platform's still so young that you shouldn't be doing sponsored content?
No, not necessarily. It's just a
me
personal
personally.
choice. Yeah, and again, like, I think I've said it probably 100 times, but like, do what feels right to you. For me, it feels awkward for my brand and Jacey and what I produce on Snapchat, which you see, which is stupid. It feels funny doing sponsored stuff on my Snapchat. And honestly, anytime a brand reaches out and they're like, we're doing a sponsored post on the blog with social media support on Instagram or Twitter and Facebook, and then they like sneak it at the bottom, like, and then 2 snaps talking about it. I'm just like, dude, you don't want me being like, you should wear this fucking top because it's great, because that's what I do on Snapchat. I'm like, you don't want me dropping the F-bomb when I'm talking about your dress.
Yeah.
So like, trust me, you don't want me talking about it on Snapchat. But like 9 times out of 10, I will anyway, because it's something that I really do like. Because I'm only doing partnerships that I genuinely like to do. So yeah, so I just don't like to really include that. And then it's just kind of like a bonus, which by the way is a nice segue in that you should always overperform what the contract asks you to do, so that the brand will like fall in love with you. And then they'll be like, oh my God, she was so great. She actually did 2 Instagrams instead of 1.
That's good advice. So if someone comes through and says, I need a blog post and 1 Instagram,
Maybe
you
give
might
them,
do 2.
yeah.
Especially if you want a long-term relationship.
Exactly,
right?
yeah.
If you're just like...
Go above and beyond.
Yeah.
And always send a thank you letter.
Thank you letter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. Any other just like quick things that you do that everyone should do? I mean, I think...
I don't want to give away my secrets.
You have to. That's part of the thing. Like
Oh.
you're here in New York, like the traveling to have meetings. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's unique.
Yeah, well, I started doing that. I reached a point in my blog where I felt a little stuck and plateau, and I'm just
Because
like...
you live in LA, which
I live
is
in-
like basically Siberia.
All the bloggers live in LA. Come on.
Right.
A lot of them
None
do.
the brands.
That's true.
Right.
That's very true. So I just felt a little stuck, and like I'd stalled out, and I had reached a point where I was only getting so far with these brands, and so I was like, you know what? I'm going to plan a trip to New York and just email people and take some meetings. And I did that, and ever since I did that, I've been coming back.
How do you find the people? You know, you talked earlier about like pitching something to Anto or Loft, but like how do you find...
I mean,
if
now
you're an
it's
up-and-coming
easy.
blogger, like what do you do?
Forecard or go to their website the old-fashioned way and scroll to the bottom and go to About and find a phone number and pick up the phone and call. You just have to research, get smart, and come up with a new way to meet with them. Like, brands are being inundated right now with influencers reaching out, so you always have to have a pitch in mind, always, some sort of idea, but don't oversell them on it. I mean, very rarely in a meeting will I even talk about an idea unless it's brought up, but if it's brought up, at least I have one, you know, versus like, I don't know, we'll figure it out later, you'll be forgotten about.
It's like a guy who asks you out and is like, hey, we should hang out sometime. Instead of being like, do you want to go to dinner next Wednesday at 8 p.m.?
That's exactly how it is.
Right.
Yeah, it's very similar.
What is something as a blogger that you should always avoid doing?
Doing something for money,
Okay.
because people are going to tell.
What is something, any blogger of any size, what can they do today to help grow their business?
Take a class, go to a conference, try something different, learn something new. Think outside of the box.
What is the single most effective growth strategy that you've used as far as growing your following? And I'm going to talk about like when you were still up and coming. What were the things you did that worked really well?
Hang out with other bloggers and have them tag me in their photos. But the other people that you're hanging out with have to be on your same level, because
Or
then
a little higher maybe.
maybe it's like a little bit higher.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm like sweating. I'm
well, 'cause I
drunk.
turned- Don't slam it. That's a $500 glass.
Oh, I did it.
There we go.
I'm so proud. Oh, my
next
parents
time,
are going to be
people.
proud. Thank you. Thank you.
How do we do?
Amazing.